Here we go. All right, we're live on TV. This is so nice. It's good to be here in the Radio 2000 studio. And for those of us that are listening, this is awesome. But now we're watching. So it's so good to be with all of you. Radio always meeting TV on this World Radio Day. And it's such a big celebration. We've been jumping across. I mean, literally, we were at 5FM. We opened the door of the 5FM studio and walked into Radio 2000. And we walked past Metro FM to get here. This is... I don't know if people know how closely entwined this all is.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It is.
And how much goes into the planning, I guess, that goes into... I mean, you're speaking to us on the radio, but I see you've got someone cueing you, and the fact that you're going to be live on TV, etc. So we were speaking about how important I think radio is, you know, just to us. I was home this past weekend, and home is a rural area. And as you go there was a woman who was... What is Uglima? Who was working in the field.
Yes.
And she had a radio with her. And the guy that looks after the cattle also had a radio with her. So it shows that as much as there's technology of phones, people still come to us for reliable content that they need to listen to.
It is the most powerful medium, and we can't actually emphasize it enough. I was listening to you interviewing your previous guest. Sorry, I didn't know who you were speaking to. I couldn't see inside. But Hao is saying that around the world, you see that, radio is not as powerful as it used to be. But here,
in
on
Africa,
the African continent and in South Africa, it is so powerful. Because people, this is your only means of information for a lot of South Africans. It is. You guys don't realize how powerful you are.
I don't think we do.
No, I don't. I mean, this little box is sitting all over the place. It is just, it's in your car, it's in your house, it's on your phone, it is on television stations in hotel rooms. It is absolutely everywhere. But I mean, the access and that news and the talking and the music and the stories. This is it. This is radio.
And you work with a lot of very profound and really great radio presenters like Sister Sakina.
Oh, man. Let's talk about Sakina for a moment.
Are you looking to get into the radio space? Is that like a natural transition for you?
I mean, I've always I started off my career in radio. So radio was where I first started doing news and venturing into the broadcasting career. In fact, I started doing traffic. I was reading the traffic.
Robert.
That was my first. I can see Tabo smiling because he knows me from we started off together. So I mean, I was reading traffic and then trying to just watch this newsroom and this radio station and see what goes into it, and from the call screeners to the producers to the playlists to the behind the scenes to the sale people. I mean, there is so much that goes into radio, and then of course from there. But I mean, radio is a big beast, especially the likes of what like a Sakina does. I mean, you are holding down. There's no adverts and TV and
to
overlay
hide behind,
and all of these. You've got to speak. You've got to speak.
Whenever I think of radio, and I guess what it means, I always think of like iconic things that have happened that were broken either on TV or on radio. For me, I always think of 9/11. That happened because I was coming after the guy that was before me. And the story broke on this DJ before me, and I was like, I'm so glad that's not me, because I wouldn't have known what to do because I had just started. I was panicking. Do you remember any iconic things that have happened around the world that have broken with you, maybe being on the TV, and you've had to get the story then and because you've broken most of the bigger stories.
I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. But it is always about controlling yourself, because you hear these stories, you hear the breaking news, you know it's happening, but you have to control yourself, because and actually just calm down, get your thought process. And it's always that theory, and in the age of fast news and fast media, you want to be the first. You want to be the first to break it. It's like breaking quickly, go out there, and you realize that you don't want to be sloppy in breaking stories. You need to make sure of your facts and things we don't do. And again, I heard you speaking about what happened over the weekend and this devastating story. And I must say, usually Sakina and myself open up the show in a very light-hearted, happy manner. But this morning we couldn't, because this is how we're all feeling right now. It's just very heavy on us right now. I mean, when and you're seeing stories breaking on social media, and you're understanding that this is going on, but nobody stops for one moment to think about what the family's going through and how these visuals and these leaked footages, there are children, there are mothers, there are fathers, brothers, whatever the case may be, that are watching this of their loved ones, and some may find this out for the very first time through a post that you've put out. And that's the reality, is how responsible there is a responsibility coming with being in news. There really is.
Massive responsibility. I wanted to jump in on that iconic moment. My iconic moment, I wasn't on radio at the time, and again, yes, I'll reveal my age, but it was the 2010 announcement. I was driving in the car in the streets of Guatemala, and that's where, I know, but young as I am, and this massive announcement coming on radio, and I guess it's also that important for us to be part of this kind of platform that makes so much impact and has, as we are here, our music, your music, our memories. And I believe we should continue just playing that important role and making sure that it's not about the breaking news. And let me quickly break it first on this platform.
Oh, man, I remember that day the announcement was made. You know, I just happened, I mean, this is such an ARB story, but this is what we're allowed to do, right?
We
Tell
love
ARB stories.
Yeah.
So the announcement when South Africa was hosting the 2010 World Cup, I happened to be doing a photography course at the Market Theatre.
Okay.
So they had this whole sort of thing that I was doing, and you actually went into a dark room and you developed your own photographs. But we were doing this, and they said, right, go outside and take photographs. And at that moment that we went outside to take the photographs was the moment they announced that South Africa was hosting the World Cup. The photographs I've got, I must actually find them.
People going bananas.
We went insane.
That's insane. I can imagine.
Moment to capture. So, you know, it's amazing how, as much as there are so many different mediums of communication, whether it be through a photograph or whether it be through voice and sound like radio, these are moments in history.
Leanne, how do you distress? Because obviously, surely you carry so much from the stories. You break them. You carry the emotions. Yes, you must be professional, but you're still human.
Yeah.
How do you distress from all the stress that comes with what you do?
Well, I mean, I think, yeah, de-stressing is going home and sort of thinking about what you've seen and done and experienced. And it is hard. It weighs down on you. Obviously, everything is a job. I mean, you speak to a doctor and you ask them how do they feel when they lose a patient or things like that. It's a very different. I mean, I'm bringing an analogy that is really not what I do. I mean, it's not right. But everybody comes with stresses in their jobs, and you have to learn to find that switch, because there is a switch between news and emotions and the job that we do, because you can get so wrapped up into it and so angry and so I mean, when you're interviewing people and people are and you know I mean, especially with South Africans now, we're angry and we want to bring about that anger and speak about that anger as much as you can, but the reality is that you've got to find that happy medium, ask the right questions but hold your emotions back. So yes, it is about going home and processing and shame. The family is the one that
I know, they get it.
They get it. They do. They get it. They do get it.
Were you going to pay bills? Leanne, you're not leaving now, right?
I'm not leaving, but we're going to pay bills in about a minute's time as well. So, so we're going to be landing up losing Morning Live at the same time as we go.
So everyone's making money.
Can I ask you before you take your break, if that's okay?
Yes.
What does this day mean to you guys? I mean, is this you guys must be living this dream? It is living a dream of being on radio. It is a huge ambition.
Yeah, radio is everything to me. I mean, the bug bit me 12 years ago, and that's when I started radio. And what it means to me is just an opportunity to come onto a medium and connect. It's all about connecting. I mean, anyone communicates. That's what John Maxwell says. Everybody communicates. A few connect, and that's what we do here.
It's also, for me, it's an opportunity to change people's lives. From where I come from, when people hear me, the conversations that I speak about on the show every single day, it's literally an opportunity for me every single day to try and change people's lives.